Hello everyone, happy Christmas, happy New Year. I've been working on the old SwimClubMeet again. Let's run the application just to show you what I'm up to. We'll log in, the usual tricks. Rightio, so I've got two sessions. The first session up here has got 4 events, and you'll notice that there is relay events inside there. What do they look like? Here's a relay event. It's got Team A, Team B, Team C. Yep. Righto. So I want to create a session report. Click on that button. So this is where I've got up to with the session report. Event 1, Event 3, Event 2, Event 4. They're not in order. They're not sequential. And not real happy. I've still got to throw a bit more data there for the relays, but basically it doesn't look good. They should all be in order. Yep. Okay, so what's going on? Why is it not working? So we'll have a look at the session report. These 4 little bits and pieces here, I've got all the goodies. This query is just basically everything and the individual events, and this one here is mostly focused on teams and their team members, etc. And then if we go to the actual fast report where we build the form, double click it, righto. So you'll notice that there's a lot of grouping. That's me stripping out all the data from that big humongous SQL. And then we get down to the nitty gritty, which is 2 master data tables, one holding individual events and the other one holding team events. And you notice it's using a sub-report. Yes. And what's a sub-report? Well, FastReport creates a second page and you fill that out and that's your sub-report. Righto, and if we go back to the front page, the main page, the sub-report, well, at the moment it ends up being placed at the end of the form, basically. I could synchronize a sub-report by creating a filter, but I haven't done that because basically I just didn't like the way it was sort of being built. And I thought there must be a better way. So I played around in this project, trying out a few things. Now here's a nice little short way of dealing with the problem. It's just 3 components. It's got a FIDAC connection component. It's got a fast report special thing component, which actually points to that connection. And then there's the actual report, and that's it. So if I open that up, yep, there we go. And now you'll notice that I'm using master details, sub detail, data, etc. So just drilling down, and over the side here, I've got a whole bunch of queries, where they come from. Right, so what you do is you pop over here to the data page, and you go and get these fast reports components, which in this case deal with FIDAC, and inside of these you write a query, etc. And then you join these components on their master field section, whatever you want to call it, fields, parameters, yeah. Unfortunately that doesn't work. Anyway, so I discovered. So you go back to the page, and to make it to work, you actually got to go and assign a filter for each one of these bands, in this case data bands, yeah? And that actually does your master detail or your parent-child relationship, whatever you want to call, and you end up with this. And then if you have a look at the preview, you get something like that, which is, well, I haven't used the event numbers, I've just used their IDs, but it's in order. We've got an individual, got a relay, an individual, a relay. Again, I haven't fleshed them out, I was just experimenting, yeah? So that was, yeah, I thought it's not bad. It's sort of okay. I still wasn't quite happy because all the SQL is all stored in the reports doodad, and Fast Report does have a few hiccups every now and you lose your whole report, and yeah, it's not good. I'd rather have it out here in the form where I can see it, because it's also easier going in and out if you're making changes. So I came up with this version. Yay! A little bit more complicated, you might say, but it isn't really. It's still that parent-child sort of do that, and I can connect this fast report component to the actual query, but I found that the relationships between detail, master source and detail weren't working. So the only way of doing it was via a data set. So now I have this, and I stuffed all that into this report, which is coming up any moment as soon as it's ready. And now on the right hand side here, you can see there is all my lovely queries that were on the front form, and here you see now it's a big stack of parent-child relationships drilling down, and we get all the way down to data 5. So data 4 here is entrants, which is individuals, and then here we have team events, and there we have the team entrants for those events. And now if we run this report, preview, yep, you see everything's nicely in sequence. I can break them up easy, make sure they print lovely on the page, etc. And I just feel that the way that that's designed, even though it seems to have a few more bits and pieces in it, it's actually a little easier to understand. Also, there's no hidden connections or anything. It's just whatever I stuffed into those tables is working, because they have these relationships. So back here on the form, all the work's done here on the form, and it's easier to manage, yeah? And also when it comes to declaring what session I want, well, at the moment I've just assigned it to session 1, but I'll use a SQL parameter there, and then everything else after that works, because it's got that master source detail relationships going down through the table. So I've sort of, and also this later on I want people to be able to edit or change these reports using the FastReports interface for users, and I feel that this will make it a little easier on the users to sort of understand how to change stuff. So I've decided to use this thing. Yeah, that's where I'm going. A few more tables to throw in. Anyway, at the same time I thought, well, you know, I could plug in some bits and pieces and use a client data set just to strip out a whole bunch of session data. So that way, for export of session data into a file, because when you have, this is the master of all of these data set providers, and you can just go and save to binary. It's very easy, just one line of code, boom, it's gone. Also allows me to import it easily into a data, and other little bits and pieces, like for instance being able to sort of use this mapper to build up an XML, and I could even use that XML to create JSON. So there's some advantages to being able to in this form. It gives me a couple more choices, which will be needed later on for the Carnival application. Yep. So there you go. I don't know if you've found that interesting. Probably a little bit complicated. Yeah, I found it interesting trying to find what way I'm happy with dealing with this issue, and I'll probably take this sort of arrangement forward into some of the other reports because it could do with still a few more reports, and I just like to clean them all up and make them easy to edit. And if it's not me who's editing them, it will be the user, okay, and give them a reasonable sort of experience because it's not rocket science, but it is complicated trying to deal with the reports. So anyway, I hope you found it interesting. We'll catch ya. Bye.